Hello and welcome to another episode of Telling Everybody Everything. What's that we hear a little bit in the background? Is it your breast pumps? Is that professional? Probably not. Bobby and I have had a punishing Easter weekend, and the half term carries on. I mean, a lot of our friends are sending their children to half term camps at the school that our children attend. But one of the Easter parties was at a good friend's house, and she has such a creative, eccentric, amazing, loving, connected family. And we feel so excited to be invited over there because our children, we have come to learn, absolutely hate everyone. Fred, we thought, was just shy, but Fenna is not shy. Fenna is... she's terrifying. She is a real athlete, a bit of a bruiser, a boss. She's a young woman, so she has no qualms about telling people what to do, but she does go shy, like even on the phone, or they retreat from people. We had an Easter party at our house that I will get to later, and even Holland from when did she go and see Dr. Fang? She was 3 months when I took her into the Portland to see our family pediatrician, who I cannot recommend highly enough. Dr. Fang, love Dr. Fang. And even at 3 months, Holland was knew that Dr. Fang was a stranger to her at that point, though she will grow to love her. At our Easter party, people were trying to hold Holland, and I was like, oh, she doesn't like that. And she would flip out. Holland, the happiest, fattest, chubbiest, most jolly baby ever, would freak out. So our children are not that friendly. And, sometimes it feels like a red flag. It's why have we not instilled confidence in these kids? But then a little while ago, I met a kid whose parents really leave him with other people almost all the time. And that's fine, to each their own. Every family shape is different. It's not the way I would do things, but these people are high net worth, very busy traveling individuals, and the baby's in a crash a lot. They will travel with the baby, but the baby will stay in the crash the entire time. And this baby will go to anyone because this baby has been conditioned to go to anyone. But our children, no. But I learn and grow every day, and I'm learning about the children even. And I think Violet really set this off for me because she didn't like people, and then she became super social and really liked everyone. But now as a young adult, still a child, but not a girl, not yet a woman, she will articulate, I don't like that person. I don't like that person. Violet will meet someone and on sight, she goes, I don't like them. And I've pieced it together over the years. I think my kids love the neurodivergent and mentally ill. And I say that with respect. If you haven't got some type of neurospicy quality about you, autism, dyspraxia, whatever you want, if you don't have that or a mental illness, my kids are not interested. And we call these regular people. And I don't mean it in a disparaging way. It sounds like it when I say muggles. I was not someone who watched Harry Potter. I'd never seen it. And someone in the street, a friend that I bumped into after a breakup, explained to me, you keep going for wizards. You need to date a muggle. And there are wizards and there are muggles. And I think my definition of that is wizards are comedians, artists, people who are more often than not neurodivergent. And muggles are great. Muggles are dependable and steady, and they have good, important jobs, and they're nice. My kids aren't into that. My kids aren't into that. No. So we went to this party at a friend's house after our party, which was a great success, by the way. I'll talk to you about our party. So Bobby and I have very little social life. We don't do anything together. We're trying to plan a little birthday trip. Bobby turns 43 later this month. He loves Lake Como, but it's full of stairs and hills and rocks, and it's not incredibly baby friendly. And currently Holland is too young for me to go anywhere without her. So we're looking at Sicily. I'm trying to take him somewhere with Holland. And it's at the end of the day, why even bother? She's not sleeping well. We just need to put our lives on hold for a little bit longer because we've decided to have this many small children, and we have decided to be attachment parents to these small children. So, we do have help during the week, but that person who we love is very rarely with all 3 children. It's just an extra pair of hands. Like the style that we parent, we almost need like 1 carer per child, and we'll take Fenna out and do things on her own, or I'll have Holland, or like she'll have Holland and then I'll take the older 2 to do something, or the older 2 might be in school one day. Like we are always with someone. So when we have fun, it is kid-centric. It is at 11 a.m. It will be something like a small Easter party that snowballs into like a grand affair. So a few weeks ago, Fenna was asking, when is the next party? Because we have birthday parties. We do big birthday parties. We rent out soft plays. We like to have a good time. And Fenna was like, well, when's the next party? I said, it's not until Daddy's birthday, but you can have an Easter party if you want. She was like, yes, I will do that. I'm having an Easter party. So we invited very few muggles to this thing. And again, I say muggles with respect. We love the muggles. The mugs are some of our favorite people. We invited 2 families from school, 3 if you include my friend Ellie, but she's not a school friend. Her kids just happen to go to the school, and like she's in the business. She is the co-owner of Preppy, which is that children's personal care brand, like, tween personal care brand. There's loads for babies, there's loads for adults, there's loads for teenagers, there's nothing for tweens. So Ellie founded Preppy with her friend Steph, and then I joined them. Ellie is a good friend. Her husband was a professional footballer, so she's like in the mix. But anyway, our kids go to school together. Everyone else was a comedian, actor, comedian's child, entertainer, whatever. And the guest list just went on and on. Like I would forget to add someone. I would think of one more. We thought we were going to maybe have 10 people at the house. I think we ended up having 40 or 50 people at the house. Near the end, I panicked. I don't do volumes well. I ordered like thousands of eggs via Ocado and online, Amazon, whatever. Eggs just kept arriving every day. I made these beautiful personalized Easter baskets, which like one day I would love to host the way Natalie Rushdie hosts. You have to follow her on Instagram. She and her husband Zaf and their 2 little girls have moved from London to the country, and she's always like gardening on there and making scones and doing whatever, all the things I can't do. And she has themed dinner parties. So she had a tomato themed dinner party, and I went fucking mental because I love tomatoes and I wasn't invited. And then I was invited to the lemon themed dinner party, which was amazing, but I couldn't drink because I was pregnant with Holland at the time. She had a St. George's Day party, but you don't have to be invited. You can just like enjoy in a parasocial way via Instagram the way I do. So that's Natalie Rushdie. Really great like place for dinner parties. I can't do that. I'm just not, organized enough. But I thought of these baskets. You don't want to send kids home with like stuffed bunnies or like too much chocolate. Well, we did that. But I had this idea for little wooden engraved personalized name tags in the shape of an egg that would be so cute. And I got them through a company called Bear and Rose, bear like a bear, and Rose on Instagram. And they do such really lovely personalized things. It is a female founded family company. Love it. So we bought some really cute Easter baskets on Amazon, and then I tied on these personalized egg, Bear and Rose name tags so they can keep those forever. They're just like little keepsakes. I thought, Katherine, you've nailed it. And then I remembered every party that we have, Bobby will be like deep in the garden and he'll try to offer drinks. But Fred and Fenna, because they hate everyone, when we have people at our house, they will hang off of us quite a bit. And so he'll have Fred on one arm, Fenna on the other, and someone will be like, yes, I'll have a tea, please. And Bobby was like, all right, see you in half an hour, because he has to leg it up the entire garden, get to the tea, get trapped in like 7 conversations, come back. So we had the bright idea from my friend Emily Atack, who had a party, to use her caterers, or caterers that I met through her at her son's first birthday, rather, called Pink Ginger. They were amazing. Allison is the boss of Pink Ginger. She came to cook some like hot food items. We had bacon rolls and sausage rolls. We had avocado toast. We had shakshuka egg pots and like beautiful pastries. You can have loads of different things from them. But then they stayed and bartended, which was a game changer. A game changer. I think if you are going to entertain at home, especially at 11 a.m., while an egg hunt is going on and there are millions of children running all around your house and different groups of people and you're getting into different conversations, the best thing you can do as a host is top up people's drinks. And yes, we hang out with the kind of people who drink at 11 a.m., but there were also tea and coffee and soft drink options. The best thing that you can invest in is help to do that, like a bartender or maybe, I guess it's a bartender or just like hospitality people to walk around and like top up the drinks. It just changes the game because you cannot be doing that yourself. And I think this was the best party we ever had. We also scaled back the soft play. Having actual soft play erected in your garden is really expensive and you can't get it to a level that older kids can enjoy. It's really just for the babies. We got 2 bouncy castles this time from a company called Jumping Jacks, Jax on Instagram. And they were seamless. They came in, they set it up, they took it down. Like it was absolutely awesome. The day wasn't as sunny as we'd hoped, but it was tight. And we had the bright idea. Well, I did. I ordered a bunny costume, a really nice Easter bunny costume, like a beautiful cartoon face and a bow tie and a little vest, a white Easter bunny costume. And I thought, all right, I'll put that on. We'll gather all the children at the top of the deck looking down into the garden, and then I will jump around because I knew Bobby wouldn't. Bobby's like not the kind of guy to clown like that. He won't do it. And that is a dad job. You're right. But no, Bobby like will only go so far in taking the piss out of himself. So I thought the children will watch, and at a distance in the garden, the Easter Bunny himself will be like hopping around, hiding the eggs. And the Easter Bunny will hop away and we'll say, go, and they'll get to run out and find the eggs. You can't do an actual Easter egg hunt with like questions and clues for this age group. You just have to let them run around the garden and find the eggs. And hopefully they don't find very many because they just started eating chocolate like a year ago and they'll go absolutely mental. But at the very last minute, and I was so impressed, I was opening the costume, getting it all ready the evening before, and Violet came down the stairs and she was like, oh my gosh, let me try this on. She wore it and she did some age inappropriate TikTok dances in it. And I think she must have got a good reaction on Snapchat or whatever from her friends. She was like, I'll do this tomorrow. I will be the Easter Bunny. And when I tell you the musical theater tuition has been paying off, hats off to you. If you are listening from my daughter's school, she just actually completed a clowning course as part of the curriculum. Clowning isn't always like being a clown. They have like sad clowns or all these different things, but it teaches you to be comfortable being ugly on stage, be comfortable looking stupid on stage amongst other lessons, right? So Bobby is too self-conscious to be this Easter Bunny, but Violet, very happily on the day, we gathered the children at the top of the deck. She put it on, and the convincing way, the absolute method acting that Violet threw herself into to hop around the garden. She did a little back hop as well, sort of like a twerk with a hop. Don't know why. She was doing some of it for herself, some of it for the children, hopping all around with so much energy. And she put, I don't know, hundreds. I don't know how many eggs. I still don't know. Let's say at least 100 eggs all around the garden. And the kids loved it. And I can't share videos really to my Instagram because there were some famous children there, not bragging. And people don't post their kids to Instagram that much anymore. Even the mugs don't, which I admire. That horse has bolted for us, but we are pulling it back slightly if you haven't noticed. And then we were like, all right. And they were like, look, the Easter Bunny. I could just see beautiful core memories being made. And it was so amazing. We had the very best day. Cleanup afterwards was wild because we are a shoes off family, and I decided to let people keep their shoes on because of the in and out nature, but also because Manny has died and I'm about to get new carpets. I just thought, fuck it, keep your shoes on. And it was so much fun. It was so much fun. I love hosting. I would hate to host adults in the evening and not know when they're going to leave, but to host families at 11 a.m. and put like 1 p.m. as the end time, you got to have a party with an end time. And I have child-free friends who are killing it, very successful in their careers, living their best lives. And one of them messaged me being like, "Babes, 11 a.m.'s crazy. I'll come at 2." And I was like, okay, well, it's finished at 1, but see you there. And she didn't even come at all. And that's the kind of life that I could have, but I fucked it. On Easter Sunday, we felt so thrilled to be invited to our friend's Easter party, because it's times like that that you feel badly that you're raising all these children away from extended family. I remember when we were little, we'd be dragged around, like every Irish person in Sarnia. We'd have to go to their house and wear dresses with matching gloves and socks and, do the whole Easter thing. That was tricky, and I didn't like it at the time. But looking back, it was important to do. Like, it was important to make an occasion of these holidays. And at the time, I do remember feeling like I didn't want to converse with these adults I didn't know very well. I certainly didn't want to be kissed by anyone, and I didn't want to have to play with their kids. In Canada, everybody kind of has a basement playroom, and I just remember showing up somewhere in an Easter dress. There'd always be like a shrimp ring somewhere and deviled eggs, and I'd have to talk to their children who were either older or younger than me, or they weren't my friends, and have conversations with older people, and then be put in the basement. Like, and now go play in the basement with these feral kids. And I have vivid memories of like some kids still being in nappies, like kids screaming and running around. And I don't focus on that when I remember it. I just think, oh, Easter was always nice. Didn't we look beautiful in those photos? 3 girls dressed alike. We got some chocolate eggs when we left. Like, it was fun. And my parents had friends and my parents had fun. Like, it was just different to the everyday. So this party was an hour away from home, but we timed it with Holland's nap schedule, and we went. And this is an eccentric friend who has like so many amazing family members who, again, like tried to hold Holland and she wasn't having it. But Fred and Fenna, for the first time ever, like, this is how it clicked with me. I was like, oh, they like show business people. They like neurodiverse people. They just melted into everyone's arms. They were happy to chat. They were really happy to, like, what they wanted to do is find all the eggs and then hide all the eggs again and then find all the eggs and hide all the eggs again. They were not shy at all. Fenna was in a woman's lap eating pasta, something I've never seen before in my life. Just chatting away. And they had the very best time. And it meant that Bobby could have a good time. I drove home from that party. Bobby, for the first time in a long time, got to have an adult conversation with friends. It was a beautiful Easter. I hope that you all had a lovely Easter. Oh, in between these 2 parties on Saturday, I forced the family to get dressed up and go to the Grove, which is a nearby hotel, but they have really lovely restaurants as well. And they have a very famous brunch buffet. And I don't know if it's every Saturday or if it's just on Sundays, but they certainly had it this Easter Saturday. And like, it was out of this world. It was so out of this world that it's really wasted on us because we barely eat anything. And then the kids obviously will only eat pasta, which we could get them anywhere. But I think it's just nice to get dressed up and go and have a cocktail. But it's so famous that there were loads of influencers there as well. And Bobby was like, what the fuck? Like, I was caught behind this guy in the queue for this stir fry amazing soup. They have everything. They've got like beef Wellington. They've got all this different sort of carvery stuff. But then they've also got Japanese. They've got this huge dessert table. They've got like fruit and veg and meats and cheeses and salads. And like, what did I have? I had cauliflower cheese. And I had some like carrots and potatoes and cabbage, but then they've got this like Asian area as well. They've got curries, they've got sushi, like it's absolutely wild. But Bobby was trapped behind this American guy who was like taking ages and filming it. But you know how people will sort of film something for their socials or just for memories, and then there are people who are like filming. Like this guy had a camera crew at his table. So he's like fully filming everything. And then when he went back to his table, there was a woman like with a camera and a microphone and he was talking about his food. And I was like, what the hell is this? But, you know, people want to see what's available at the Grove. This guy was in business. This guy was working on a bank holiday weekend and I respect it. And he was making high quality content, which is more than I can say for myself. Bobby.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You really look the part today.
Well, I've had a rough weekend, as you know.
Yeah. I described
like,
it.
It's like pleasurable, but just
Punishing.
And it's nice to get a break from those damn kids out here to join you for whatever's going on out here.
Well, I wanted to talk to you about the moon.
The moon?
Yeah.
Did someone steal the moon?
Well, you wish, because can you remind listeners of your theory?
So I don't have a theory. I have a belief that no one has landed on the moon, not a human being. No human being has like stepped foot on the moon and walked on the moon. That's my belief.
And a lot of people have that belief.
Yeah, it's gaining a lot of popularity. Most Europeans, like when I first lived in Italy, I don't know, 15 years ago, they kind of scoffed at the idea and thought it was hilarious. And the Americans I lived with were like, offended. But a lot of people do have it. So, I mean, I'm not the only one.
It kind of is based, if your conspiracy theory is correct and no one has ever walked on the moon, it is steeped in like classic American propaganda.
Absolutely.
Of like Team America, World Police, like we did it. And so you think, if I'm to remember correctly, you think that because of the war in Vietnam, morale was low, and then the Russians were trying to get to the moon.
No.
Okay, what?
Okay. That has nothing to do with Vietnam.
Oh.
Vietnam, I think, was well after.
Japan?
It was a Cold War with Russia, and so there was like a space race at the time to see who could be the most successful in space, and so there was a race between Russia and America at the time. And so I believe they just kind of faked it, filmed it, sent it out. I mean, the footage looks pretty dicey. I mean,
the footage does look dicey, and I think this is what gets people there. They have little tells, like why was the flag flapping, blah, blah, but overall...
There's so many, like there's like hundreds of little things that people can bring up, but the overall thing is like, why have we not been back?
That's
like,
what's most compelling to me.
And like, really, why have we not been back, and why did we even go in the first place? And like, yeah.
Well, I've got...
And then there's a lot of little things that are like, all right, that looks insane.
Well, I've got good news for you.
What?
As of yesterday, humans have literally just been to the vicinity of the moon.
Vicinity of the moon?
For the first time in over 50 years.
What does that mean, vicinity of the moon?
Well, it means while no one has stepped onto the lunar surface in this specific week, a crewed mission is currently in space. Here's the brief summary of what's happening right now on the Artemis II mission.
Oh, wow.
The launch was April 1st, April Fool's Day. How interesting.
Classic.
NASA successfully launched the Artemis II mission from Kennedy Space Center. This was the first time since Apollo 17 in 1972 that humans have left the Earth's orbit. Humans have not left the Earth's orbit since the 70s. What?
Well, yeah, that's probably true. They have gone like...
What about Katy Perry?
Well, they just like kissed the atmosphere, I think. I don't really know. And then there's the one like, remember the teacher's ship blew up in the 80s? I remember watching it at school.
Oh, yeah.
And it just like exploded. But I don't know what they consider the Earth's orbit. Well, I know what that means scientifically, but people have been to space, but not outside of the orbit of Earth. Yes.
Well, this mission carries 4 astronauts: Commander Reed Wiseman, pilot Victor Glover, mission specialist Christina Koch, the first woman on a lunar mission, and Jeremy Hansen, the first Canadian. In your face, Chris Hadfield.
Ouch.
The flyby. On April 6th, just yesterday, the crew performed a lunar flyby. They reached a record-breaking distance of roughly 252,756 miles from Earth. That is the furthest any human has ever traveled into space, looping around the far side of the moon.
So they just circled the moon.
Yeah.
So how is this so groundbreaking?
Well, you might be asking why. This is a 10-day test flight to ensure that Orion spacecraft's life support systems are safe for humans before the next mission actually lands on the surface.
So this is groundbreaking, and it really is, truly, and I believe this to be true based on what you're telling me.
Yep.
But now think 70 years ago.
70 years
60, 70 years ago, whatever it is, 60s is when they started these missions, the Apollo missions. They literally landed onto the moon with the technology they had, played golf.
Did they play golf?
They did.
Whoa.
And then entered back in like danced around, planted flags, and then got on another ship and exploded off the moon's surface back to Earth.
What's the other ship?
I don't know. They're like capsule that they like, I don't know, lunar module, whatever it's called. And they land on the moon, play golf, get back in another rocket and shoot themselves back to Earth successfully. Whereas these people, they lost contact around the moon and they just circled the moon. So how would they have done that in the 60s?
I mean, so I'm not...
And again, landed and circle jerked on the moon and then exploded back to Earth.
So I'm not saying I have like skin in any of the game. I don't know if people went to the moon or not. But it almost feels like, if I'm going with you, that no one has ever walked on the moon. It feels like they've kind of stepped on their own feet. Because if you say you've been to the moon, you can't really go back or do any of this exploration.
That's it. Because
or else you prove how hard it actually is, and then prove that you never went.
Because then it's like, well, what do we do? Like, what do we do then? We did already go to the moon, or now it's like so record-breaking to circle the moon. It's like, you totally take the steam out of those Apollo missions.
Well, did that Apollo mission, do you know, did it have a test flight around the moon like this?
No, I don't think so. They've been on the moon, I don't know how many times allegedly, like a handful.
I guess not, if no one has ever exited the Earth's orbit since 1972. So they're trying to say people have been on the moon after Buzz Aldrin?
No. So there was a few, I'd have to pull it up, ask AI, but there was a few people that have been on the moon. So they did a few missions. So it wasn't just one time and go. They did a few of them. But yeah, for them now, since 1972, to go to outside their orbit, I mean...
So it was fashionable in the 60s to do this space race. People just kept going to the moon.
Oh, but not only America.
Only America kept going to the moon willy-nilly.
Yeah.
And now we're doing this test flight around the moon. So they're doing it because this is Artemis 2. But Artemis 3, which is targeted for 2027, 2028, will be the big one. NASA plans to land the first woman and the first person of color on the lunar South Pole, which I think is offensive.
The South Pole versus North Pole? What's offensive about it?
Well, because they used to fly like things into space,
like dogs,
like monkeys and dogs and stuff.
Russia
And now
sent
they're
a
gonna
dog first.
Then they're gonna just try it with a woman and a black person. Why?
Well, the men have already been. It's like diversity. You know, they've already sent white men to the moon.
All right, but if they haven't sent white men to the moon, why are they testing it out on black people and women? As always, like they always do. Like look at all medicine.
Well, yeah, medicine has a rough.
This is a bad look.
History.
They better hope they've been to the moon before. If they've been to the moon before, then this is inclusion and diversity. Yes. If they haven't been to the moon before, then they're just launching minorities into space. I don't like it.
No, it's not a good look. Imagine it goes like south. I know they're going to the South Pole, but the mission goes south,
And now you've exploded the first woman and person of color.
Well, women have long been exploded in space. Like I said, they brought a teacher out into space and she got exploded within 13 seconds of launch in like 1988. Oh, poor thing.
Well, before the humans land, several private companies like Intuitive Machines and Firefly Aerospace have been landing robotic probes on the moon over the last 2 years to scout for water ice and test landing tech. The Artemis program is the successor to these aforementioned Apollo missions. Unlike Apollo, which was about getting there first, Artemis is about sustainable exploration. The goal is to build a lunar gateway, a mini station orbiting the moon, and a permanent base on the surface to eventually use as a stepping stone for Mars.
I have no idea why we're doing this. Like, can you imagine the amount of money that goes into these missions and NASA in general and space in general? And like, you've got literal people starving all over the world. Yeah. It's just absolutely insane that we spend this money on things like this. This is the problem with the world. It's like you spend every dime on war and space travel and people are suffering. It's fucking insane.
So
it's fucking insane.
What do you think has prompted this mission? Like Elon Musk, or
I don't know.
Why are we interested in the space race?
This is the first I've even heard of it. So I don't know why we're interested in the space race. It's absolutely insane. Like I said, just a waste of resources. I get like if there's a problem with our world and like resources, but there's not.
Maybe there is.
There isn't.
Maybe there is, and they don't want to tell us.
The problem with the resources is that they're spending it on these people to like go to space for like to plant a flag, to fucking make a space station, to go where, to fucking Mars. Like Mars is a fucking hellhole. Imagine anyone who wants to live on Mars.
Well, how do you know Mars is the hellhole?
Look at it. It's like the red planet. It's like, come on.
Some people want to land on Mars. I had an ex who told me that he was in the running to be one of the first people to go.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
And didn't I read about this young woman who wants to go, but she would die there? Like she's like, this is
like exploring is cool. Like if you're like an explorer in like the 1500s trying to find like the Americas, even though people already lived here, but like that was kind of courageous and brave. But this like space travel, I don't get it.
Has any good on Earth come from space travel? Like
no.
Well, I like
you
satellites.
You could like if you go out and send like rockets and like mine some like asteroids and stuff for special things. I don't know, but we don't have like our resources are fine here.
Okay, but listen to this. The benefits of this is Gemini. The benefits of space travel are often invisible because they've become part of our everyday life.
Right.
It isn't just about flags and footprints. It's about the massive technological spin-offs and the fundamental shift in how we survive on Earth. Here's a breakdown of the good that has come from space exploration, updated with the latest breakthroughs as of 2026. Oh yeah, the medical miracles, cancer research. So this is actually Carol Vorderman's daughter does this. In microgravity, cancer cells grow in 3D, unlike the 2D sheets in Earth labs, allowing scientists to test drugs that actually mimic how tumors behave in the human body. How cool is that?
That's cool.
Organ on a chip. NASA is using avatar technology as of this year, small chips containing an individual's own cells to see how radiation in space affect the body at a molecular level. This is fast-tracking personalized medicine for people on Earth. Okay?
Okay.
Environmental survivor and climate resilience. We cannot fix what we cannot see. Space travel gave us eyes to monitor our own planet. Satellites are the primary way we track deforestation.
Can I just stop you right here?
Yeah.
If anyone's going to want to go to space and do all this stuff, it's AI. So like AI needs to sit back for a while. Like, like, you know what I mean? Like they are from space, AIs.
Are they?
Kind of. They just need to like, we shouldn't be listening to AI about space travel, I don't think.
Well, do you like digital cameras, GPS, memory foam mattresses?
No, I don't like memory foam
Scratch-resistant lenses?
No.
Wireless headsets?
Are they from space?
Yep.
What do you mean?
They're from, they have roots in NASA R&D research.
Sure, but like, that's one thing. Like NASA, like, I'm not against technology, but I'm against, again, wasting resources. If you ask what's the downside of space travel, like, that's that, whatever.
Yeah, it costs like billions of dollars.
Yes. I don't have a problem with like advancing research and all this stuff, but you know, that's not what started the travel.
At what cost as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, like you're learning a bit about cancer cells, but like
people are suffering and dying
people
here.
have died,
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. So you think that your lunar conspiracy theory is gaining momentum?
It's just been hanging around for a long time. And if they get this person to go on the moon and it, like if they do this lunar mission, I hope it kind of fails.
Oh God.
I don't want people to die, but that would prove
women and people of color specifically.
Yes, I don't want them to die. Maybe send some more white guys out there.
Yeah.
That would be
This is a job for the whites. Like let's get the white guys out there.
Yeah. So if that fails, that would really electrify that, you know, theory.
That's true.
And it's not really like I might be wrong. I'm not like but in my heart I think no one has walked on the moon.
And you know what I love about you, and I think the listeners also love, is that you're not afraid to communicate what's in your heart. I think that's brave these days to be like, I don't think that happened. And then, because it makes people really angry.
It does. I don't understand why it makes people, I'm not trying to like tell anyone to think different things. Like, I don't care. You can believe in any religion you want. You can be an atheist. I don't care what your beliefs are. Everyone has their own beliefs, but people get sideways when I have mine. I don't know. Like get angry at me.
I think it makes people angry because
because I'm a conspiracy theorist, which I believe some to be true, not all. That I'm like, anti-vaxxer, right wing. So whoa. I'm just a free thinker, and I might be a complete idiot as well.
But I think it makes people angry because it forces them to consider whether they've been tricked, and it exposes a vulnerability in everything. You know what I mean?
Well,
like it's a big cognitive shift to be like, what? We were lied to about such a big thing? What is true?
Has the government ever stopped lying? Like each new presidency or prime minister, they keep lying, they keep lying, they keep lying. So why wouldn't have they lied like 50, 60 years ago? They've been lying the entire time about everything.
I think they really blew their load like in the last few years. They told such big lies. You know, they pushed it too far.
Yeah.
And this is why there are more conspiracy theorists than ever, not just because of disinformation.
Well, people are fed up with being like lied to. Like there's like with today's technology, like smartphones, that like people can record what's going on around the world. Back then, you're just like told what it is by the government. So now people are like, that's not true.
Yeah, with wars especially.
Yeah, with like it doesn't work anymore. Like people have like woken up, but I've thought this for a while before I even had a smartphone.
So I'm going to Cambridge University tomorrow.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. To study. I'll be back in 4 years.
The space studies?
No, I'm doing a disinformation summit.
Oh,
And it's about how to combat disinformation online, because disinformation.
Yeah.
What's the difference between like misinformation and disinformation? Disinformation is like purposefully
Yes,
misleading,
correct.
right? It's sexy and it's fun and it captures people's attention.
Yeah.
But then they're looking for a conversation about how to get like fact-based, researched information to have as much steam.
Yeah.
So this is gonna.
Disinformation is a thing now too, but ultimately it starts from the top, which is the governments and people that run the world that have been tricking the population for a long, long time, like since forever. People in power do that.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna ask them about the moon.
Please do.
I think the Cambridge people will know.
Again,
If you ask an astronaut,
astronauts.
I think I have asked astronauts before. Like, have I been to the moon? And they're like, oh, you know who I asked? Yes, I asked some astronauts in, was it Prague where we were performing? There was one venue.
I didn't go to that one.
Oh, it was either Berlin or Prague, and there were some astronauts there. And I said, have I been to the moon? And they were like, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Like I was some kind of idiot.
Yeah, they would obviously be on board. But there's some weird interviews with the original, like Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong. There's some like weird interviews where they get like punch people in the face type things. It was crazy.
I've seen that. I like that.
Yeah.
But you have to expect some like crazy behavior out of those lads now, because how old are they?
Well,
old men like go rogue.
I think the kind of one's at least dead, but
would you like to stick around for Andrew's talking points?
maybe depending what they are.
Oh, one that you might like. I think it's about American politics. Right after this. He is a self-starter, and he is also a producer on this podcast. He keeps me up to date with like what's going on in culture while I'm navigating parenthood of 3 small children under 5 and a teenager. So last night I was reading Andrew's document about, what I could, his talking points that I could deliver to you this week. And I thought, this is so Andrew's voice. And what would be fun is for Andrew to give you his talking points himself. And we're on different time schedules. He lives in Los Angeles. So I said, send me a voice note of these talking points rather than a document. And then our listeners can hear your voice. So here's Andrew Johnston.
Hi, delighted to join you today. Anyway, let's get down to it. Last week, the Daily Mail broke a wild story involving double-sided marital infidelity, high-level U.S. government officials, vengeful sex workers, and of course, several pairs of tig-old biddies. Here are the facts and figures.
Bobby, is this story ringing any bells so far?
I did hear about this story, yeah. I listened to a podcast that I enjoy. And the story was kind of the headline feature, and it's a crazy story.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Really? There's this... Okay.
Kristi Noem, the former governor of the Mount Rushmore state, South Dakota, whose personal style can only be described as Real Housewife and duck hunting camo, was on the short list to be considered for Donald Trump's vice president until she revealed in her autobiography that she shot and killed a juvenile hunting dog named Cricket for misbehaving, thinking it would be some sort of a flex that women can make tough and deadly decisions too. Something like that. Anyway, the public thought she was a sociopath, so her VP dreams were quickly dashed. But instead, Trump installed her as Secretary of Homeland Security, overseeing the brutal crackdown on immigration in the U.S., which ultimately led to ICE agents killing 2 innocent American civilians in Minneapolis this past January. Optically, that wasn't great, but the unforgivable sin came in early March when she testified to Congress that Trump personally gave her his blessing to spend nearly $250 million producing ads to boost her profile. Anyone who has flown in or out of the U.S. recently can attest to seeing what looks like New Jersey housewife Teresa Giudice in a cowboy hat telling them to go back where they came from whilst putting their toiletries in a bin at airport security. It was very charming.
All right, I've got a picture of this lady here. And Andrew did preface this with like, Katherine, I know you're going to feel sorry for her, so I don't know what's coming next. But he was like, don't feel sorry for her. She's a terrible, terrible, terrible person who's done terrible things and hurt lots of people. Ooh, there's even like a before and after picture of her. So
she looks better after or before?
Well, she looks more Real Housewives as Andrew describes after. Like you can
She's got like Sarah Palin vibes about her.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should not feel sorry for this lady if she shot a dog and
thought that would be a flex, that the American public would be like, oh, she's tough and brave.
Ugh.
Yeah, they'll turn on you. You shoot
Yeah.
a dog. Do you remember when Mitt Romney was in the race for presidency against Barack Obama and he strapped the family dog to the roof of his car?
No.
Yeah.
But Mitt is a great name, by the way, for a person.
I know.
Or is it?
We met a baby called Clint over the weekend.
Clint's a great name.
I
Mitt,
love it.
You know, Mitt for a person. And this guy's running for president. President Mitt.
Mitt Romney, yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's a terrible name.
Do you know there was a guy running for mayor in Sarnia, which we basically have like
Running for mayor. We've had the same mayor for...
a monarchy. Yeah, we've got like this guy.
I don't know how
he's
still mayor. He's been the mayor since we were born.
But the guy running against him for a while was called Mayor Rawana. And I remember all these burnouts being like, Mayor Rawana.
Oh, yeah. That's
trying
that's
to
sexy.
get... Yeah, that's why.
As a teenager, that'd be like a pretty funny thing.
But he didn't win. Anyway, yeah, this bitch looks like trouble. And you've heard of her before?
Well, I'd only have heard of... Like, I know who she was, but I haven't heard all the ins and the outs because I've been out of the politic game over in North America. But I did hear the most recent story, which is fascinating.
Well, here it comes.
It was also rumored that everyone in the administration were very uneasy about the open secret affair she was having with her top deputy, Corey Lewandowski, a longtime Republican operative who married a 9/11 widow and has 4 children. And when she was pressed about it at this hearing under penalty of perjury, she didn't deny it. Oop. Shortly after this congressional hearing, she got the chop, and, spoiler alert, things got a lot worse for her this past week. Meanwhile, back in South Dakota sat Christie's long-suffering cuckolded husband, Brian, which is sort of spelled like Byron, but it's pronounced Brian. It's weird. The two met in high school, married in 1992, and have 3 kids. Daughters Cassidy and Kennedy, both spelled with a K, and son Booker, with Brian staying behind in rural South Dakota, tending to the kids and his insurance business, while Christie cucks around high on the hog in Washington, D.C. He even showed up to support her at the aforementioned congressional hearing, where she was asked about her 2-timing. It's amazing his cuckold horns haven't poked someone's eyes out at this point. Seriously, we need to rename the hotel room cuck chair the gnome throne. Thank you, I'll be here all week.
Bobby, thoughts on cuckolding?
I have no thoughts. 0.
I like it.
What do you mean? I don't even know, I don't know, what is it?
Well, it means
like,
that
I know what it is, but
it means that this woman, this glamorous,
she got her
very
husband, so
Trumpian...
then he's cuckolded.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are my thoughts on it? I don't have any.
Well, it's a woman working in a male-dominated field.
Okay.
Do you think women cheat as often as men do?
I think women have affairs
Yeah.
more than men cheat and women have affairs.
You think
so she's having an affair with this guy.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And what are her kids' names? Speaking on the subject of
Christy
Mitt.
something and then Booker.
Kennedy, Cassidy,
and Booker. Booker, it's kind of all right.
There are no more American names than that.
No, that's like a
Kennedy.
It's like a ice hockey team and
Cassidy. Yeah, that's what Sarnia names are like that. You'd see Bobby's sisters have kids who play sports, and often when your sister posts the hockey stuff, they'll be like, and then here's what I want to, and it's all names like that. Her sons have good names, and then the rest of the names are very Kennedy, Cassidy, Booker.
Yeah.
Okay, she's having an affair with, what does this other guy do? He's
so
in the government?
This is her husband.
Yeah.
And he stays at home with the children and has his own insurance
sells
business.
insurance.
Yeah.
Great.
Only, now it seems that Brian was up to his own shenanigans back home, as the Daily Mail published a searing expose of his correspondence with several women from the bimboification scene, and it has caused the internet to, titter with glee. Ooh. First off, what is bimboification? It is a kink and or aesthetic in which porn performers transform themselves into real-life Barbie dolls by pumping colossal amounts of saline into their breasts and other parts, resulting in supernatural curves. Essentially, look up Katherine Ryan on Comic Relief years ago performing a lip sync to Nicki Minaj's Starships, and that's what this guy was into.
I thought this guy was putting fake tits on.
Well, maybe. I mean, that was bimboification. So I've participated in a lot of kinks. First of all, I've been tricked into people's kinks, and I've done kinks without knowing they were kinks. This is what happens. You can be so vanilla that you're performing 12 kinks. So when I did, actually that was called racist by some people, which was really disappointing. So over 10 years ago, there was a Comic Relief series that came back every year, and it was called... They had Let's Sing for Comic Relief, Let's Dance for Comic Relief. Mine was Dance. And I was so excited to do it. And I chose Nicki Minaj Starships. And as part of the performance, it was meant to be funny, but also I had big boobs and
I see
a
where it's
big
going.
bum. And
Yeah.
at the end, the bum inflated and got even bigger. And people were like, how dare you make fun of her big black bum? And I was like, no, I make fun of her surgically enhanced.
Yeah.
She was known at that time. She was like one of the first ones to come out and have a huge ass.
Yeah, I can see why people, I mean, at the time,
Well,
it was
but
fine.
they would have to not know about the surgery. Like
Yeah.
for me, like I suppose my defense was I couldn't see color. But that's not a defense because then you have to like explore how that could be perceived.
It's a minefield.
So you think this guy...
I thought this guy was buying tits and putting it on himself.
Well, maybe.
We need to get to the bottom of that because I think that was happening, is my understanding.
All right, let's see. We jumped in too soon.
Well, let me tell you, the receipts are plentiful and vivid. Here are some of the most eye-popping, or rather balloon-popping details. Brian initially got in contact with the model using the pseudonym Jason Jackson, complimenting her amazing curves and vowing to worship her like a goddess. "How are your boobs?" he asked her. "Would you go even bigger?" A PayPal account belonging to Jason Jackson sent the women regular deposits, typically between $500 to $1,000, 380 to 750 pounds, allegedly totaling over $25,000, 19,000 pounds. But that wasn't the only thing he sent them. Jason also felt compelled to reciprocate with photos of himself wearing skimpy crop tops, skin-tight leggings, and lopsided DIY balloon boobs with the balloon knots representing nipples. "You turned me into a girl," he'd say to his bevy of bimbesses.
Bobby Kutstra ahead of the curve on this one. You could be the pop culture producer of telling everybody everything. Did you know that?
Well, I just knew the story, you know what I mean?
American politics comes into your eye line quicker than mine. And also...
It does, yeah.
So he was cross-dressing.
Yeah, and like with like huge boobs. And listen, I love boobs, but
You
like
do?
everyone loves boobs. That's a guy usually, but like this was like a weird inflatable, like kind of cartoony boobs that this guy was into. That he started like buying and wearing himself and cross-dressing, which whatever you want to do. This guy's been through a lot. Obviously, he's married to this cunt, and she's cheating on him.
Yeah.
She's killing dogs.
Yeah.
She's, you know, anyone in the upper echelons of U.S. politics has got to be an evil person. So I kind of feel for the guy. He's just trying to find some love online.
Who knows what kind of person he is, though? Like,
Well,
he might be
he's-
worse than she is, but...
He might be, but he might not be.
Yeah, he might be just cucked
He
out.
might be like cucked out, and he's like, all right, well, what I'm going to do is cross-dress online and, you know, spend all the cash while she's like, you know, being an evil like villain.
And he sells insurance, so he's got cash of his own.
Yeah.
We know some well, he's a bad person, too, if he sells insurance, actually.
Well, there's not many jobs left out there.
All right.
Insurance is one of them.
So he's doing what I used to do. He's really good at the bimboification because in like my tween years, I'm from a very toxic generation. I already wanted boobs, but I was too young to get breast implants for a variety of reasons. I would use balloons. I wouldn't do them as big as he did, but I would put Jell-O pudding in them
Okay.
for like a natural texture. It was better than water.
Yeah, naturally.
And to put the balloon knots in the front as nipples, that is really inspiring.
Very classy.
Another thing you can do is cut off the ends of lemons and use that little tip of the lemon as a nipple. Very convincing nip.
Whatever happened to just the good old-fashioned tissues?
Yeah, well, I started with tissues, of course,
Yeah, of
and
course,
then socks, but I was really just into the bimboification. I didn't realize.
Are you one of the workers?
I kind of am. Like,
You started the trend, maybe, because I haven't heard of like this. You told me about like the inflatophiliacs,
Yeah.
which I guess is a variation of this like
Yeah.
oversized boob thing. But
Yeah.
like I said, it's very strange kink, which is fine. But this guy's been through a lot, like I said. So I don't know. You know,
the fact that the jump from like I like these women to like look at my boobs.
I know it's the online's a tricky world to navigate. So he clearly wrapped up in some type of fucking thing, which can happen. Happens to the best of us.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Would you describe your upbringing, your like financial status, as being poor or like middle class
Me?
or wealthy?
I would say not poor, not wealthy, like lower middle class.
Okay, because there is a theory that men who had less or fewer resources grow up and they like really big boobs, and men who grow up very wealthy like really small, like ballerina boobs.
Really?
Yeah, that is a theory.
I just like them all, really. Yeah.
You don't have a preference. Oh, you probably prefer natural breasts to implants. You seem like that kind of guy.
Probably, yeah. I mean, implants have gotten pretty good these days as well. Like,
How many implants would you say you've seen in your life total?
Like implants? What do you mean?
Like breast implants. How many have you experienced?
Like on people?
Yeah.
Well, I've been to the strip club back in the day. Basically, everyone had fake tits there.
Yep. No, there was like a larger French girl that I remember from the Sarnia strip club who just she really liked to dance.
There'd be a few sloppy sets out there, but
no,
for the most part, like in the 90s, which
Yeah,
I went to
yeah.
the strip club when I was like 15 years old. It was the first thing I ever went to, basically, with a
mean,
fake
like,
ID. But
in a sexual setting.
in a sexual setting, I don't know. You don't know, really. Do
Yeah,
you?
you do. Yeah, you do.
You
Don't you?
You do and you don't. Not them. Like, honestly, maybe just you.
No, I think the like on and off one before me probably had them, just judging by her age.
No, she didn't.
Oh, weird. No, not her. The older one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she would. 'Cause
Yeah.
she screams
Yeah.
implants to
Yeah.
me.
That is another one. So, yeah, 2.
Only 4
I
implants
think.
ever?
I think. Yeah, there's probably a few I don't know.
You would know. I feel like you would know.
Like
Did
I
you
said,
know-
they've gotten better these days.
Yeah.
I mean, but
Did you know I had implants like through the grapevine before?
through the grapevine, yeah.
Yeah.
I was told a story. You went into the washroom at the club and flashed someone. You're like, look at my new tits.
That's not a story.
That's the story I heard.
No, you didn't hear
Yeah,
that.
it was like you showed a girl. You were showing a girl in the women's restroom. You weren't like going and showing a guy.
In Sarnia?
In Sarnia,
Well,
at the Border
listen.
Club. That's when I first heard.
Not possible, because let me tell you this
Or
for
the
free.
station or something. That's what I'm telling you.
Stokes by the Bay.
Maybe it was Stokes
is,
by the Bay.
Sure. Is the only
Okay.
bar that I
But that's
returned
how
to after
I
my
heard that
ascension to
yeah.
greatness. But she would have asked me to see them.
Maybe.
I would
but
not have shown them.
You know how these like Chinese whispers go. You would have showed her, and then she said, "Well, Katherine flashed me," whatever it was.
Fine.
That's how I found out.
I don't think we say Chinese whispers anymore.
Luckily,
you're wearing the
just
glasses.
whispers. Just whispers. Well, my eyes are like Asian.
Yeah.
I've been told, so I think I can say it.
Okay. How do you feel about the prospect of me getting my implants removed quite soon? Like maybe this time next year when I'm done breastfeeding.
Whatever you think. Yeah.
You just don't care.
Well, I want you to be happy, so whatever that takes.
But in terms of like just from a shallow perspective, on the subject of bimboification, are you going to miss me having huge boobs, and then are you going to end up on these websites?
I might miss them from time to time, yeah. But it's funny because right now, the last 5 years, you've had all different shapes and sizes, all of them big, but some huge as well. And like, yeah, I've seen the.
And you've had really no access to them.
Very little. Yeah, it's been a tough. Yeah, so I won't miss that.
Okay.
I can't even touch them anymore. So
A little bit more on this man.
He openly admitted to one model that he had a wife and family, and at one point told her, "I love my wife, I want to get better," then disappeared, only to come back and start again. One model cracked his identity in a very ham-handed way. She accidentally pocket-dialed him and got his voicemail. "No insurance, leave a message," it said.
Oh, no. Gnome insurance. I hope he sold home insurance.
Gnome
home insurance.
maybe.
But it also kind of sounds like no homo,
Yeah,
which, yes, homo.
I think
Sort of.
ish.
A quick Google search pulled up photos of Christy and Brian Gnome. "I was completely shocked," said one model. "Why are you doing this?" I asked him. "He didn't care. I thought, you should care. Your wife could lose everything she's ever worked for." After his identity was disclosed, another model brought up the reports of Christy's alleged affair, and he just replied, "I know. There's nothing I can do about it." It is worth noting that him doing this presented a very real national security risk, as the gnomes could have easily been blackmailed into giving away national secrets to foreign enemies.
Oh, yeah, Bobby, these bimbos are smarter than I am. Because when the first bimbo was like, "Oh, your wife could lose everything," I thought, how? She's not doing anything except like killing dogs and having her own affair. But yeah, it could make him vulnerable to blackmail.
This is wild. But this guy's obviously sloppy. The whole thing is sloppy and weird, and both individuals suck. So they deserve this. And if the states get like hacked through this like thing, that's what they deserve as well. So fuck them all.
She seems, though, like someone, if she's going to kill her own dog, and sorry to keep bringing that up, but she would just throw him to the wolves anyway. Like, if this got in
and
some
then kill the wolves.
Russian hands, if this got in like Russian hands, and they were like, show everyone picture of your husband with boobs. She'd be like, fuck him, I don't care.
This would be the greatest downfall for the U.S. if they got like done for this, gnomed, and like that'd be so deserving. And bimboification is very American as well. It's all great.
Well, she's undergone her own bimboification.
Exactly. Everyone's a bimbo in this, including the states as a whole, and Trump.
Trump's a bimbo.
Exactly.
Trump loves bimbos. All the bimbos
Everyone
around.
loves a good bimbo.
The gnome's balloon burst this past Tuesday when his private bimbofied photos and interviews with the models were released and, stunningly, confirmed by Brian Gnome himself. A spokesperson for Christie said that she is devastated and that the family was blindsided by this, and they ask for privacy and prayers at this time. And I don't know about you, but I did indeed spend all Easter weekend praying that Brian Gnome's balloon's boobs deflated. Finally, it is being reported that the model who instigated the tell-all and approached the Daily Mail was, wait for it, an undocumented immigrant seeking revenge on what the DHS under Gnome hath wrought. Karma is her boyfriend.
You know what they say, Bobby? Hypocrisy is the price vice must pay to virtue.
Oh, yes, they do say that.
And I think that even though this lady who works for Trump or does whatever, I still don't even know what she does. Christy Gnome?
Homeland Security.
Jesus. She's flat-chested at the moment, but her face has been bimbofied. The lips, the different hair, the Real Housewives like aesthetic. I feel like he's gone for these women online who are, again, I think when men cheat, he's gone low status. And I've gotten in trouble with sex workers before for saying, they're like, are you calling me low status? And I'm like, yes, I am. Like, I don't think you're a bad person. I don't think you're garbage. I don't make the rules about whether you are or are not low status. I just mean in the cultural gaze, doing sex work, call me fucking crazy, is viewed by many as being low status. You're not going to get like a better table in a restaurant because they're like, oh, a hooker's come in. You know what I mean? Like, it is, I'm sorry, sex workers. I like you. I think you deserve like safety and freedom and rights. It is low status.
So what's the point?
So I'm saying like he's gone for, in a way, the opposite of his wife, but removing...
I think this guy is just, yes, it's the opposite of his wife, but he's been like made to seem like a fool by his wife.
Yeah.
And he's at home and
Did he know
started
about her affair?
Yeah, he knew about her affair. Absolutely, it came out. So then now he's at home, and in a way, he's like kind of getting back at her, and then he just slid down this like
rabbit hole,
and then started cross-dressing himself, and like, so I think that's what happened here. And he's a very hurt man, and his wife is a true like antichrist. So,
on the subject of Christ, I think that these two were basically in an open marriage, but they went about it the wrong way, and they both have kinks that would be healthier to explore perhaps together or in a way that didn't involve deception.
Absolutely. That's what it is, because
the true enemy here is performative Christianity.
Yeah. You're like, you have a fake facade or whatever up.
It seems like the more performatively Christian you get, the more like kinky shit is going on under the surface.
Yeah, there's a lot of, religion has a checkered past with abuse and everything, but
good luck to these two.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they maybe should just call it a day.
They're still together?
Yeah, I think so.
Poor Kennedy, Cassidy,
that's
Bronson, Brooker,
yeah,
Bison. Bison is a cool boy name.
Yeah, it's the children who suffer, sadly.
Well, Bobby, thank you for being a guest on another episode of Telling Everybody Everything.
You bet.
Keep your eyes in the skies.
Okay, you too.
Who knows how this moon thing's going to turn out?
I can't wait for the next mission. To fucking crash and burn with white guys.
Yeah, let's put some white guys in the... Of course the white guys step back. White guys have been astronauts for like a long time. And now they're like, the moon? Why don't we send a woman and a black person? Unspecified gender. It'll be like a non-binary black person. This is not fair.
Someone intersex, maybe.
Intersex. Yes. We mustn't forget about the intersex in the LGBTQAI is for intersex. And didn't we research the other day? It's like 30% of people are intersex.
1.7%.
Wow.
Which is more than I thought.
Thank you. Please look after each other. See you soon.